Hey, what's up guys? Will's Garage here. Today I'm going to be doing a DIY home alignment using strings. I picked up this set of SmartStrings because I planned on doing alignment on my M3 after installing coilovers, but I recently hit a pothole in the M5, so I figured I'd try it out in the M5 first. You also don't need to buy SmartStrings because you can build your own mechanism to set up your strings. I only purchased this because I wanted a set that would easily transfer from car to car and would essentially last a lifetime. Now, prior to this, I had no idea it was possible to do an accurate alignment at home. I always thought that an accurate alignment would require some fancy equipment such as a Hunter alignment rack like this one. But as I mentioned earlier, I have plans on installing coilovers on my M3, corner weighting it, and I see myself making multiple adjustments in the future requiring an alignment each time. So after some research, I found that it's very possible to do an alignment at home to get very accurate results using strings. And I don't know about you, but I've had experiences in the past where I would go to an alignment shop and tell them I want a specific alignment spec, only to have them give me a look like I was crazy because it was quote unquote not within standard factory specs. But in this video, I'm only going to be attempting to do some basic toe adjustments. So as you can see, the SmartStrings setup is pretty straightforward. You're just essentially setting up a perfectly square box around the car with strings of equivalent distance from the hubs of each side of the wheels. So that means equivalent distance from each of the hubs of the front wheels and each of the hubs from the rear wheels. And the bars that hold the strings are pretty neat because they have these built-in grooves that allow you to wrap the string around them. So it makes it very convenient. And if you accidentally bump it and the string moves it out of place, you can easily rewrap the string back on the notch that you originally had it on. So once you have the strings set up, next is to measure the distance from the hub to the strings. And for this, I'm using a metal ruler because I think it's the easiest way to read the measurement. Plus, I have a bubble level that I tape to the ruler just to make sure I get the most accurate reading. And you're also going to want to make sure the string is leveled to the hub perfectly. Otherwise, your reading could be a little off. So if the string's not level, you're going to have to adjust the bar up and down a little bit. And this took a little while for me to adjust it exactly to the perfect level, but once you get to the level, you can just mark it with a Sharpie or something, so next time you do it, you can set it up perfectly first time around. Alright, so I'm going to start with the rear wheel first. I'm measuring it out. Alright, so this is measuring at 7.8 millimeters. Let's go check the other side. From the center to the string. Wow, what a coincidence. I swear to God, I did not set this up ahead of time, but this side measures 7.8 millimeters as well. So the rear is equivalent to each other. Let's go check the front. Alright, so we are at the front wheels now. It's measuring at 6.9 millimeters. Alright, so this side's really uneven, sitting at about 8.8 millimeters. So I'm gonna have to move this bar over to the other side a little bit to make it even. So after moving the bars around to get the strings perfectly distanced, the front's measured out to be 7.9 millimeters from the front hubs to the strings and 7.8 millimeters from the rear hubs to the strings. And now we can begin measuring the front and rear edges of the wheels to find out what the current toe setting is. We're going to measure the front portion and the rear portion to see what the difference is. So the issue with my car is that it's pulling to the right now, and the front toe is actually the same. It's both 1 inch in the front, 7/8 in the rear, which means it's toe in by this much. The rear is the toe is a little off on each side, as you can see here. It's 13/16 in the right side, 7/8 on the left. So I'm not sure if this is the reason why. I know rear toe is what affects the steering wheel to pull from one side to another. So I'm going to make these two the same and see how it goes. Alright, so the toe adjustment's all the way up in here. Really hard to see. Tell it's towed out way too much just by looking at it right now. So I had to lift the car like 4 or 5 times actually, because it was just a guessing game. Lift it up, adjust, set it down, measure. If it's off, lift it up, adjust, measure again. So 4 or 5 times until I got it perfectly in line with the other side. So I have 1/8 toe in the rear. It's a little bit more than I want, but that should help the car track straight. So now I'm going to do the front wheels. Right now they are even actually, so technically I don't really have to do anything. It's about 1/8 toe in on each side, but because I had a lot of front inner tire wear last time, I just want to set the toe to 0 just to make tires last longer, because I drive this car mainly on the highway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Toe adjustment's right up here, so I'm gonna loosen this bolt right there and then turn the rod right here to adjust the toe. Alright guys, so this tie rod is frozen. I've been trying to break it loose for so long. I don't have any WD-40 or penetrating lube to break this loose. Just the only thing is I wanted to reduce the wear on the inner side of the tire, because towing is what really kills the tires. Guys, so I'm going to be calling it a day. The next time I'm going to be using this SmartStrings set to do an alignment is likely going to be on the M3. So if you guys like these videos, make sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Peace.